No.
Okay, bye. So we left off on page 173, discussing the laws of Borer. We were on number 8. In the morning, we spoke about a very important concept, the concept of maybe guest will come. This concept in Halacha called Ho'ilu miklele orchim. So we explained, based on this concept, that a person is allowed to do Iruv Tafshilin. We explained the whole thing in the morning. It's a very important lesson. Listen to it. And right now, Rav Yosef says that this concept does not apply to Shabbat. It only applies to Yom Tov and the laws of Iruv Tafshilin, stuff like that. But things that has to do with Yom Tov, not things that has to do with Shabbat. That was number 7. And now we are going to number 8. There's the principle of
That's the principle of Melechet
Machshevet.
Machshevet, intentional work apply on Yom Tov.
Yeah? That's the question. You remember the concept of Melechet Machshevet? What is Melechet Machshevet? I didn't intend for something. If I don't intend for something, we said that it's not Torah violation. It's 100% allowed. For example, a person right now walking on the grass outside, and as he's walking, the leaf is going to get detached. Is he liable for that or no?
No.
Why not? He detached the leaf.
It was not his intent.
Melechet Machshevet. He's doing the melacha, but his machshava
Was not that.
is not to do that melacha.
Why is it machshevet?
Machshevet, that's slova machshava.
Why?
Why there isn't this language, this lashon? So the Torah said only when you have melechet machshevet, then you violated Torah. Means the Torah is not talking about what's allowed. The Torah talks about what's not allowed. And where do we know this concept from? We learn from Betzalel. Whenever Betzalel built the Mishkan, Torah says that there was no such a wise man that was able to think about the building of the Mishkan. Lachashov machashavot bakesef ubazahav. His machshavot was always how to do it. So since the Mishkan is the source of the laws of Shabbat, we learn that on Shabbat, to break Shabbat on Torah level is only whenever your machshava was inside that action. Your machshava was not inside that action, you're not obligated at all. Not midoraita, not midarabanan. Melechet machshevet asra Torah. If it's not machshava, it's 100% allowed. Why? What happened today? Huh? Plan B? No, you came for the Ktoret? I'm not sure if you guys, I don't see clients for the Ktoret. This not everybody can handle. Understand? This is you have to think about kavanot. You have to.
One thing you can study, the other one you implement it. It's hard.
You know, if you're not gonna implement it, then it's in the air.
No.
You have to know the first class, not to
Yeah,
understand.
I mean better. Bechor? What a surprise, Bechor! בלי עין הרע. כל הכבוד, בכור. For this, when I saw you outside, I changed the topic. Look, I bring this.
Yeah.
I saw you outside, I said, in your kavod, we're going to do Halachot Shabbat. You see?
Садитесь здесь.
Да, там далеко не садись.
Да, спасибо.
Да, ще.
Зеленый.
Да, לא חזק. Да.
So, continue. The principle of Melechet Machshevet. So now the question is if you can bring them pamphlets from downstairs for Igor also and Aaron. Enjoy your... The minhag is the minhag. I ate so much fried food, I don't know, for maybe, who knows for how many years. Today I decided to eat, you know, how do you call it? Chibureki it's called? Fried. Bureki, chibureki, I don't know how you call it. Fried with the dough, with the meat inside. I said, with this I fulfill all opinions. Why? I can say Ala Michya and mention Rosh Chodesh. No, I don't wash my hands to Motzi Lechem and Haaretz to mention Rosh Chodesh. At least this I'll do. And you gotta eat meat on Rosh Chodesh, so I also ate the meat. And also it's Chanukah, you gotta eat something fried, so it's also fried. everything. Yeah, thank you, Bechel.
Но я вон там сижу. Вы знаете, где цари
Очень далеко.
Цари подальше,
Yeah.
поближе к начальству.
Bechor, you know, I told you this joke about the guy that said that in Shachmat the king sits on the back. I told you this joke or no?
Задняя линия.
There was one rabbi he had one very wealthy man in his crowd, but he was also always bodegi, you know?
Yeah.
He always go sit in the back, talk with a friend, chichi. So the rabbi said, hello, why you always sit in the back over there? Means he gives him a hint, stop talking. So the guy says, the king in Shachmat is always in the back. The soldiers are in the front. He says the king is only a king until he goes inside the box. When you go inside the box, the soldiers and the king are in the same box. So until 120, that you're still in the game, you can say, I'm a king, I'm a soldier, I'm whatever, peshka, mishka. But once you go inside the box, you're a king, you're a peshka, you're inside the box.
Doesn't matter.
А нам, евреям, нельзя шахматы, да, играть?
Why not?
Потому что назад нельзя ходить, или что?
What's the problem? Назад ходить. I don't understand
И
this.
шашки.
Не было.
Но только есть битуль Тора.
This only because of Bitul Torah, Meir Joe. Only that's the reason. You're not allowed to play all this type of games that board games, you know. But other than that, if a person is not going to learn Torah right now, it's either going to watch something on YouTube or is going to I'm saying waste of time things, or is going to do board games. So anyway, he's not going to use time for Torah. So then we'll tell him at least develop your brain instead of killing it with a TV. Okay, back to us. If so, number 8. You got it? It's 173.8. 173.8, yeah. Question 8. So, Rav Ovadia Yosef says the principle of Melechet Machshevet, intentional work, applies on Yom Tov as well.
אבל תשאר tu כשהכל
No problem. As well. I'll just type the word as well, and we are all good. As it is written that digging a hole on Yom Tov and only needing its dirt is biblically exempt. Same as Shabbat. Because the Torah prohibited only intentional work, even on Yom Tov. Got it? So that concept, that if a person has no kavanah for the action that happened, because you don't have kavanah, you exempt on Shabbat, nachon? You go on the grass and the grass get detached. You exempt. Says Rav Ovadia, the same thing will work for Yom Tov. You don't have kavanah to detach the grass when you walk? Yeah, you exempt. There is no difference, even though the Torah talks about the laws of Shabbat. Melechet Machshevet concept. Rav Ovadia Yosef says the same thing applies to the laws of Yom Tov. Got it? Okay. Birshut Morai veRabotai.
Shamay.
Baruch Ata Adonai. Eloheinu Melech HaOlam. Shehakol Niya Bidvaro.
Amen.
Okay. Very good. 178. In a mixture that contains food and waste, and the waste is minimal, should one separate the waste to reduce the exertion, or one should always take the food out instead? Yeah? So, Bechor, whenever we have a mixture, right? Certain things you want, certain things you don't want. Can you take the ones that you don't want out?
No.
Not allowed. Very good. What if those things that you don't take out, that you're not allowed to take out, is very little? One thing. Can you take that out, or you still have to take the good one out?
Good one now.
So the quantity makes a difference or no? Quantity. Количество, сколько этого. There makes a difference, or always you have to take the good out?
No.
So that's what Rav Ovadia Yosef says. This time your Torah followed Rabbi Ovadia Yosef Torah. There is a dispute regarding minimal waste. Rav Ovadia Yosef said there is a machloket whether the minimum waste applicable or not. And he said, Shalom John, welcome to us. Waste, whether one should separate the food from the waste. Netanel HaTzadik.
А вы что, на елочку не пошли, что ли?
No, он ее зажег с ханукальной свечки и пришел. He put this as shamash. The food from the waste or vice versa. See the next answer for practical ruling. So there is a machloket in whenever you have very little garbage, waste that you don't want. Should you separate that waste out, or should you separate the good still out?
Always good.
Huh?
Good out.
So that's machloket bechor. In conclusion, Rav Ovadia Yosef in number 2 says, is the food nullified by the waste in such a way? If you have majority food, a little bit garbage, a little bit something you don't want, Do we follow that little can we take that little garbage away? Little bit waste away?
Instead of taking good.
Right.
Shabbat, yeah.
Huh? Shabbat. Should I take that bad away on Shabbat or no? So Rabbi Yosef says, some say that when the waste is abundant, is that the word?
A lot.
I'm saying this, it's used here properly. The food is nullified by it, and everything becomes prohibited. You hear what happens here? Even moving it because of muktzeh. But the conclusion is that it is biblically forbidden to select the waste, to remove the waste. Yeah, to remove the waste, even if one intends to eat it immediately. However, separating food from waste for immediate consumption is allowed, is permitted.
So it's not clear.
Huh?
Is it allowed or not?
Yeah.
You allowed to select the bed?
No. It's machloket, select the bed if it's allowed or not. Applies to Shabbat also or no. Conclusion, it's not allowed to separate the bad. You always need to separate the good no matter what.
Even if it's minimum.
Huh? Even if it is very minimum. Why it's important to know it's machloket? If bottom line, it's not allowed to. Farchashte Rabbi machloket, what's the difference? Always remember, whenever you have a goy in the picture, you, Jewish person, you have to be machmir, because safek on Torah, for you it's Torah. Safek Torah level, bechor, what's the halacha? When you have a doubt on Torah level, what's the halacha? You go strict. Safek doraita lechumra. Nachon? What if I have a doubt telling a goy something? Some say it's no problem, some say it's a problem. For me, I have to be strict because I am following the Torah. He is only restricted to do things for me only on the Rabbanan level. So now the doubt is not on Torah level, now the doubt is on Rabbanan level. Safek de Rabbanan lekula. So if you have right now a certain onion you don't want in the mixture, you have a date today, kudom sodeh, or your date is coming tonight and you don't want your mouth to be smelly, you want to remove that onion out. You allowed to remove the onion out or no?
Goy может быть.
Can you can tell the goy,
Yes.
take that onion out?
Yes.
But that's the oraita, Rabbi John. You cannot tell the goy to do so the oraita. Na Rabbanan.
Machloket.
It's machloket on the Rabbanan. You both together made the right answer. It's machloket on the Rabbanan. Got it? So therefore, safek the Rabbanan, we go lenient. Very good. Meir John, you following? Taking notes? Kol hakavod. Meir always takes notes.
It's a machloket on the Rabbanan, then it should have been without the goy also. Machloket on the Rabbanan.
No. It's safek on the oraita for me.
The goy is the
But to tell the goy to do so, to tell the goy to turn on a fire. I want to tell the goy on Shabbat, turn on a fire. Is it allowed or no? No. Who said it's not allowed?
Because it's forbidden by
Who did not allow me to tell the goy to turn on the fire? Who restricted it? Rabbanan. So whenever I am telling a goy to do Isur D'Oraita 100%, Chachamim said don't do it, it's Asur. But whenever I tell the goy not to do something, it's 100% prohibited. It's maybe not prohibited. Because take the little bit garbage, it's easier than to take always the good. Take the onion away, that's vidanya. It's a little bit. 1, 2, 3 pieces there. Намного легче, чем всегда ковыряться.
Why the Chag is the opposite?
So says Ravadia, since the laws of Borer, it's for you, Doraita, Safek Doraita Lechuma. To a goy will be commanded Safek Darabanan, Safek Darabanan Lekula. Понятно? Now Rabbi Shalom asking, Rabbi, why on Chag, on holiday, we do the opposite? You know, Bechor, on a holiday, if that onion bothers you, you don't like it, you're not allowed to take the tomatoes out. Because on Chag, Yom Tov, we have a concept called Ochel Nefesh. What is Ochel Nefesh, Meir? That you're allowed to do melachot for food. Ochel Nefesh, it's allowed. Yeah? Clear? Example, from Torah, you're allowed to turn on fire on Yom Tov. Fire. Спичку возьми, это зажигалку возьми, включи. By Torah, it was no problem. Chachamim said, can you do that for before Yom Tov? Prepare fire?
Yeah.
Huh? Alo ba'alo, make it from existing fire on Yom Tov. Don't make it from a new fire. Who put that restriction? Habanan. Torah, there was no restriction like that. Good? Why Torah didn't restrict it? To say Yom Tov, I cannot write on Yom Tov. I cannot build a house on Yom Tov. I cannot paint the walls on Yom Tov. So why Chachamim said, why Torah said you're allowed to turn on fire on Yom Tov? Torah.
Потому что кушать надо готовить.
Oh, very good. Because the Torah says, whatever is going to be eaten for per people, go ahead, do it on Yom Tov. Nachon? How can I cook food without fire? Therefore, Torah has on Yom Tov, easy card, easy pass. What is that easy pass called? Ochel nefesh. Приготавливать блюдо. Let me say a second. With that leniency, ochel nefesh, we allow borer from Torah, we allow cooking, we allow igniting, all these things from Torah, there's no problem. Chachamim said, do not turn on a new fire. Chachamim said, do not do borer on Yom Tov. So if it's Chachamim will worry about your exertion, your tircha, that you're working a lot. But if that, then I have to take away whatever I'm working less for. What am I going to work less for? Taking constantly the tomatoes, trying to get around that onion? Or remove the onion and that's it. Job is done. What's easier for me to do? To take out the onion. That's on Yom Tov. You will do the opposite. You will not take the tomatoes out because there are a lot of tomatoes, a lot of work. You'll take that 2-3 pieces of the onion, it's less work. So far so good? Bechor is a question. Bechavud.
Сегодня мэр Баланес надо зажечь свечку. Как вы на это смотрите?
Very good, do it.
С каваной сейчас все мы зажгем.
Пожалуйста.
А что надо говорить?
Leilu Nishmat, Rabbi Meir, Ba'al Hanes.
А можно я зажгу с этим?
Yeah. You're going to light the shamash. Leilu Nishmat, Rabbi Meir.
Мэр, вы там возьмите эти, сколько наш
Can I have also kavana to...
The shamash of the Chanukiah, we're going to give you לכבוד Rabbi Meir, Ba'al Hanes. Got it?
Вон есть там.
Сейчас сделаем это. Конец урок сделаем, бехо?
Но для него сейчас свечки все зажгут.
Для него это будет. Шамаш, менора будет для него.
Да?
Да. The Hanukkah candles you cannot do.
Мы каждый не можем поставить зажечь.
Не надо, зачем? Все сделаем один. Hanukkah, the shamash is given for us. You can do whatever you want with that. You can light cigarette with that. You can do Leilu Nishmat with that. You can do whatever. You can just also not even do it. You can remove it. Shamash, right? Shamash is a regular candle. So you can use the shamash candle, Leilu Nishmat Rabbi Meir. It's going to be double mitzvah next to the Hanukkah candles. Это такой Leilu Nishmat never happened.
А он сегодня там...
And Rabbi Meir Bachanov gonna light it. It's a triple
А
mitzvah.
вы думаете, он подходит под мэр Баланес?
Да.
Под Meir, да.
Знаете, один рабай был. У него не было этого рабай клички. Почему, говорю? Потому что, я говорю, и рабай добавишь, это, говорит, испортится, говорит, мой авторитет.
Мадра, а он еще сказал, какие-то слова надо говорить, я не понял.
אלהא דמיר ענני. אלהא דמיר ענני.
Наверное, да.
Could be. There is a sgula, it's written, I saw it. Bechor, that's written there also to give tzedakah for Rabbi Meir Ba'al Hanes in his name. But this part I didn't tell you because you're afraid every time I tell you something, you go, kesef, kesef. This type of sgulot, I don't share with you already.
Сейчас мы еще брак сразу сделаем.
No, I'm saying what's written. It says very important. That night, tonight, to give tzedakah, that's how he writes. Somebody asked me this today. I looked into the books. I found this gula. I sent him. He says, is it true? Is it written? I said, I don't know. Let me find. I found it. This gula.
Что надо сделать?
He says to noder tzedakah, promise to give tzedakah or give tzedakah in his name. In the name of Rabbi Meir Ba'al Hanes. To places that they are study Torah.
Он еще сказал, что какой-то каванот надо делать, ваше желание сбудется, что-то.
Кто это он?
Рабайчик там, не женатик,
То-
вокалист.
Вокалист.
Okay, continue. 179. Is it prohibited to do both?
Это зира
Жена в
леватала.
чем будет делать? Как вы думаете? Вы врач.
Вы врач.
На стенку лезть не будет он.
Is it prohibited to borer, the separation? Prohibited to borer in selecting the rotten grapes from the cluster. Now Bechor has guests, and he wants on Shabbat to put in front of them a plate with grapes. No oranges that you peel a lot of oranges. This we already spoke before, remember? We said better for you to slice the oranges than to peel the oranges, because then you don't know if the people are not going to eat. Well, Shiraz is a lot of food, right? You saw there was also oranges. Food. There was a lot of food today here, right? In honor of Hanukkah, we made a celebration that there was also oranges over there. You see how many people we had? A lot of people. Did they eat all the fruits? You see? Now, if you imagine you would do the same thing on Shabbat, Mechalel Shabbat. On Torah level. What's the Chilul Shabbat? Bore. Tagbut and Kurif Shabbat. No difference. Kurit Moretov Shabbat. No, same thing this. Same exact level, רבותיי. רק את важно законы Борер, законы Шаббат. А тики-тика Шамин Хонда.
Я как довольно знаете, что мне сказал? Я ему курить нельзя шаббат. Я же ничего не зажигаю. Я подошел, говорит, от шаббатных свечек вы курили.
Ого. Скажи, Олам Аба так тоже будете? Зажигать не будут. Только там, что горит, там будут. Okay? So says Rav Ovadia, what about rotten grapes? Okay, so this is biblically forbidden to detach the rotten grapes from the cluster. Cluster, как на русском? For him? Куча of the grapes. Cluster, yeah. На русском, okay?
Гроздь.
Гроздь?
Гроздь.
Гроздь, да.
Гроздь винограда.
Да.
Чё?
On Shabbat, you cannot separate the bad vinaigrette out of that grosht, out of that cluster. Because,
Как его кушать?
so you have to separate the good out.
Плохое не
You right now want to serve to the guests, nachon? You have some parts good, some parts bad. Are you allowed to remove the bad away or no? Not allowed.
Да.
Приготовь дома.
Oh, so one solution is Bechor saying, prepare before Shabbat, check the cluster. Second solution would be, separate the good ones that you want to serve
Yes.
right now on the table, but you have to separate just enough the guest's going to eat. It's like the
yes,
oranges. If you're going to peel the oranges and they're not going to eat the oranges, it's going to be a problem, Chilul
А
Shabbat.
если вот так порезать оранж?
Yeah, I said, slice it. Со шкурки вместе.
Можно.
Yeah,
оставить.
because you didn't separate.
Да.
Он прилипли же.
Да.
Because you didn't separate, no problem. Problem starts when you separate things. It didn't eat. Not you did the separation, they didn't eat, you mechalel Shabbat.
И арбуз то же самое?
Yeah? Depends how you do arbuz. Depends what level you do the arbuz. Some people do until the red part, and they leave a little bit of the red connected to the kazurka. So then there's no problem. They didn't separate the bad out of the good because they also separate some of the good away. Then there's no problem. But if a person says, takash, the white part, everything. Exactly, you know this guy? Right there, on that line, between the white and the red. So then he's separated 100% garbage from 100% edible thing, and it has to be eaten immediately. These things, Rabotai, you have to pay attention to. Last Shabbat, or 2 Shabbats ago, they brought dinya, honeydew. And the guy wanted to slice it on Shabbat morning, prepare it, not slice it, open it, take the garbage inside to the garbage. It was Shabbat morning. He said, on 2:30, Rabbi, you have a shiur, people will come, Useh bracha, Lilu Nishmat, or whatever, Useh bracha. Told him, you're not allowed to do that. So why? Today people eat it today on Shabbat. I do on Shabbat, people eat Shabbat. Said, Borer, you separate the seeds now, are people going to eat it later?
Few hours.
Shalom by halacha, within how long people have to eat it?
Right now.
Right now. As soon as you're passing 5-10 minutes, you're already putting yourself in a doubt of Mechalel Shabbat. You know what it is? Rabotai, you have to understand what you're talking about.
We have 30 minutes.
30 minutes is, according to Ben Ish Chai. Rabbi Yosef says it's no source for the 30 minutes.
Right away.
He says the Gemara didn't say close to the meal. Gemara says immediately to the selection. So immediately after the le'altar. Not samuch, le'altar. It's a different word.
Can I separate those seeds with a little bit of the juice of the melon? Is that considered to be?
If it's edible, it's considered to be garbage.
I'll take the slice, like a little layer.
Yeah, if you'll take a deeper
Because it's-
slice.
Even if you do it for this meal, sometimes it's leftovers. It's always leftovers.
Right.
You can't just say.
Okay? Yeah. So then take a little bit deeper.
Solution, I guess.
Yeah? That could be a solution if you'll take a little bit deeper. This way you took the good and the bad away. Yeah. Okay, number 2. So the Chidush is Bechor, that even though the cluster is one cluster, and all the grapes grew up attached to this cluster, it's not comparable to an apple that I have a bruise over here that I want to slice off. Slice off, I said?
Yeah.
Remove that part. It's not comparable to that. Rabbi Yosef says it's considered to be as a mixture. He says considered to be still as a mixture.
We said that the fish is one thing, and this is not one thing.
That's the chidush. Because they are separated parts, they're just being fed from one thing, he says. Others rabbi disagree with Rabbi Ovadia. They say that the cluster is considered to be a one thing, like the fish, like we learned, if you remember. Rabbi Yosef didn't go with that. He says that the fish, everything is in one body. Here, it's small bodies. It's as detached. Therefore, Mayor John, put it on your notes that grapes, it's considered to be a mixture. So if you want to take some parts of the grapes, some grapes out, will be a problem of borer on Shabbat. This is extremely, extremely common, Rabotai. Сколько раз этот человек может нарушить? Easy.
А будет сигарет покурить.
No difference. Number 2. How about that, John? Read.
Is it allowed to remove rotten vegetables on Yom Kippur?
From the mixture. Let's write it. From the mixture. Yeah, mixture. Okay, let's see number 2. The answer.
The evidence for the above answer is that the sages did not permit to remove of
Yaakov, we'll need you from
vegetables
Minyan. If you can help us at 10 o'clock, it'll be the test.
on Yom Kippur, except only, а что Yom Kippur кушать же нельзя anyway.
Oh. Can I prepare, Bechor, on Yom Kippur afternoon? Can the wife start prepare the table for after Kippur? She has, Baruch Hashem, 10 kids. Husband, Ochemo, a lot of people, 15, 20 people in the house. After Shabbat Kippur is going to finish, then she will start prepare the table. It's going to finish Kippur until another half an hour. Hour maybe, depends. Сколько там надо приготавливать.
Голодный.
Remember, Rabotai, back in the day, there is no refrigerator. What people eat now is they have to prepare. You cannot prepare before Kippur and serve it after Kippur. It's going to go bad. Chachamim said, Bet Shora Odamo, they're not going to have patience. They're going to have shalom bayit problems. Oh, I'm hungry all Kippur. I was fasting. You were fasting. She was not fasting. I'm hungry. Davai shevilis, pivilis. And then Shalom. Chachamim said, Habibi, you're not allowed to prepare from Shabbat to after Shabbat, right? Who didn't allow it? Chachamim. For Yom Kippur, after Kippur, we allow it for people not to cause issues of Shalom Bayit, of tension, of burden.
Что еще Кипур идет, ты уже можешь припев делать?
Exactly. On Kippur, no cooking, just preparation. Prepare the vegetables, wash them, even though рука мочится у тебя. No problem. Because it's only midirabanan, the restriction, since to cause shalom bayit between the husband and wife, between the people, not of burden, Chachamim allowed it.
Shabbat Shabbaton is right.
Even though Shabbat Shabbaton. Because it's the restriction of preparation, hachana, it's only the Rabbanan. So Chachamim allowed for purpose of shalom bayit and avoiding burden from people to wait until after Kippur for the food to be ready, the table to be ready. Got it? So now, says Rav Ovadia, the evidence for the above answer is that the sages did not permit the removal of rotten vegetables on Yom Kippur except only from what somewhat rotten leaves that are still fit for consumption in the time of need due to distress. Bechor, you're sitting Shabbat table at a Shabbat table. Your wife wants to prepare salat with kovu. How do you call it? Lettuce. Romaine lettuce. Now some of the romaine lettuce have parts that became rotten.
Yeah.
Can she remove these leaves that they are rotten away from the romaine lettuce or no?
Шаббат.
Shabbat.
У них же салат
Она
не получится.
закроет, чтобы муж не нарычал, может делать.
So according to our Torah, Bechor not allowed to.
Что ей надо сказать?
So she has to take the good out of that mixture, out of the cluster, how do you say, a bundle of the romaine lettuce, right? So says Rav Aryeh, what's the difference between the bundle of the romaine lettuce with the kovu and the grapes? This one is a cluster, and this one is a cluster. This one has leaves, this one has grapes. Chazal tell us that these vegetables, the greens, you're not allowed to separate the bad leaves away on Kippur for after Kippur. Why? Borer. Says Rav Aryeh, hold on. Kakoi borer? This is one thing. All those vegetables in the lettuce, all the leaves of the lettuce, they are one thing. They are attached on the bottom to one cluster, to one root. What says Rav Aryeh Yosef?
No borer.
It's a problem of borer. So what do you see? What borer? So things that they grew from the same root, it doesn't make them one thing. Each grape is individual thing. Each leaf is an individual thing. The same way by the leaves it's a problem, so over here is a problem. So what Chachamim allowed then? We said that she allowed to prepare on Yom Kippur for after Kippur. It said in rotten there is two levels. One level that it's not so good, but it's edible. Another level, you cannot eat it. Level that it is 100% not edible, that's the right. But something that it is somewhat edible, чуть-чуть съедобный, that's the Rabbanan. Says Chazal, we put a restriction for this, right? For sake of Shalom Bayit, for sake of avoiding a burden from people, we allow you this the Rabbanan violation and take the somewhat edible vegetables away from the mixture on Kippur to serve that salat and those vegetables after Kippur. What about borer? It is somewhat edible. It's considered to be still the same kind. And what about preparation? Bechor?
No problem.
What about preparation on Kippur? You're going to serve it after Kippur? Shalom Bayit. For purpose of avoiding the burden from people, beseder mutar. You getting it? So what do we learn from here, says Rav Aryeh? That's something that it is portus, 100%. To separate it out from a bundle, that's asur by Torah. And something that it is pachach kadegi, but it's still edible. I will not serve it in front of a guest, but it's still edible. If I separate it out, it's asur midirabanan. Rabotai, you understand this or no?
Так, это, парашат.
Уже парашат, да. So, we are on number 3. We left off at number 3. 179, number 3. Okay. Today, before we have good, we can give him the prize, surprise. Continue with the parasha. Thank you. Ari, your favorite parasha. Vaigash.
Гаш.
Там про Снегурочку что-то пишет сегодня Новый год.
Sipur?
Снегурочка.
Yes. Previous parasha. Parashat Miketz. When Yosef was tested with her, you know? На Новый год.
Снегурочки.
Снегурочки.
А вот она откуда
Зулика.
пошла.
На Новый год. Rashi says that they all went to celebrate the holiday.
Чего с Новый год?
He doesn't say Новый год, but he said they all want to celebrate the holiday. And she said, I don't want to go over there right now. Make a new recording. Please.